Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and today's video is one that I've been excited to do for a while now, because today we're talking about something that I really enjoy, that being dark rides. Not roller coasters, not flat rides, but rides that completely take you to another world. The rides where for a few minutes you forget about real life and just disappear and indulge yourself into a storyline. I've ridden a lot of dark rides over the last couple of years. Some weird ones, some old ones, some that tried to scare the hell out of me with jump scares, but today I'm counting down my personal top 10 dark rides. This is my list, so you might totally disagree, and that's fine. Please drop your own rankings in the comment section down below, because I genuinely love reading what everyone has put number one. But let's get right into it. These are my top 10 dark rides from around the world. Kicking off the list at number 10 is Deep Sea Adventure at Legoland. And yes, I know people are going to be like, really? That one? But just hear me out. There's something really calming about this ride. I love big, intense rides as much as anyone, but Deep Sea Adventure is like a deep breath. You climb into a submarine, everything gets quiet, and suddenly you're surrounded by Lego treasure, sharks, shipwrecks, and actual sea creatures swimming around you. If you've ever visited under stress, this is the moment of your day to reset. And honestly, there's something just magical about seeing kids pointing out at the fish, thinking that that one's the coolest one in the world. Is it simple? Yes. Is it peaceful, wholesome, surprisingly immersive? Also yes. And that's why it squeezes into my number 10. Coming in at number 9 is Toon Blaster at Chesington World of Adventures, located here in the UK. Now this ride is chaotic in the best possible way. It's the kind of ride where half the fun is competing with your friends or pretending you're not competitive, while secretly trying to destroy everyone else's score. The classic Egyptian toon theme is nostalgic, and the mummies and glowing hieroglyphics might not be the most high-tech things in the world, but they have personality. And I love that it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's good fun, it's loud, it's full of huge sets that look like they came from straight out of a 90s action movie like Indiana Jones, and honestly the vibe is just incredible. Although recently it hasn't looked its best, in my opinion it is still one of the best dark rides here in the UK, and it sits nicely here in my number 9 slot. And coming in here at the number 8 spot is the Curse of Alton Manor, located at Alton Towers. This dark ride was a complete reimagining of Jewel, the Haunted House Strikes Back. If you love haunted houses that are creepy without being too extreme, this ride is definitely for you. I really appreciate how Alton Towers reimagined the old ride, and they didn't just update it, they made it a genuinely unsettling experience and have a more in-depth storyline to it. The atmosphere is thick, and the little story details, the whispering audio, the eerie visuals, it all builds up beautifully into what is an incredible dark ride. Plus the projection mapping is some of the best we've seen in the UK right now. There are moments where you're not even sure what is real and what is digital, and that's exactly what a good haunted house ride should do. It feels like you're walking into a ghost story you've only half remembered, and that's exactly why it's earned its spot here at the number 8 spot. And coming in at the number 7 spot is the legendary Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man ride, located at Islands of Adventure in Orlando, Florida. This dark ride that somehow still feels modern, even though it's been around for decades. Universal absolutely nailed it with the mix of screens, physical sets, motion simulation, and a comic book style storytelling. One of my favourite things is how smooth everything feels. You go from swinging with Spider-Man himself, to falling off a skyscraper, to dodging villains all in one continuous motion that feels like an animated comic come to life. Every time I ride it, I remember why it's a classic. It's fast, it's funny, it's dramatic. And if you sit next to someone who's never ridden it before, watching their reaction is honestly half the fun. Sliding into the number 6 spot is the Haunted Mansion at Walt Disney World, and honestly this is one of those rides that just means something to people. And I'm definitely one of those people. This attraction is pure Disney magic. You step into that stretching room, the doors creak shut, and suddenly you're part of this spooky, funny, beautifully weird ghost story. And that's what I love about it. It's not so scary, it's playful, it's atmospheric, it's charming in a way that only Disney could ever pull off. The practical effects are timeless. The Pepper's ghost illusion in the ballroom is still jaw-dropping to this day, and the hitchhiking ghosts get me every single time. I don't care how old the gag is, I'm still looking in those mirrors thinking who's going to come home with me today. And that's why the Haunted Mansion is special. It has its own personality. The ride doesn't just have ghosts, it has character. There's humour, there's mystery, and there's incredible detail in every single corner. It's the kind of ride where you notice something new every single time you ride it. And for a lot of people, myself included, it's a comfort ride that no matter how busy the park is on that day, I'll always try and squeeze it in. It's classic, it's iconic, and it's timeless. And that's why Haunted Mansion earns its spot in my number 10 at the number 6 spot. At number 5 we've got Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, a ride that finally lets you take control of one of the most famous ships in sci-fi cinema history. What makes the ride stand out is how interactive it is. Instead of just sitting back and watching a screen, everyone in a 6-person crew has a job. There's 2 pilots, 2 gunners and 2 engineers. and your actions actually affect what happens on the ride. If the pilot crashes into something, you feel it. If the gunners miss a target, the mission gets harder. If the engineers don't keep up with repairs, the Falcon starts to fall apart. The cockpit itself is incredibly detailed. Everything lights up, everything moves, and it really feels like you're inside the real Millennium Falcon. The simulation tech behind it is pretty advanced too. The whole ride reacts in real time based on how well and how poorly the crew is doing. Before you even get into the cockpit, the queue sets the tone. You move through maintenance areas, cargo rooms, and eventually the famous main hold with the hollow chess table. It's one of the most impressive queues Disney has ever built, and it really helps the whole experience feel like a proper mission rather than just a ride. Overall, Smuggler's Run is a great mix of theming, interactivity, and high energy gameplay. No two rides feel exactly the same, which gives it a tone of re-rideability and easily earns its spot at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, located at both Disneyland Paris and Epcot. This ride is one of Disney's most charming, modern dark rides, and it definitely has something really unique about it. It makes you feel like you've been shrunk down to the size of a rat and dropped straight into the world of Ratatouille. The whole experience starts before you even board the ride. The queue sets the tone perfectly. Oversized rooftops, Parisian music floating through the air, a clever forced perspective that makes you feel small even before you get on the ride. Once you board your trackless ride-shaped vehicle, the fun really begins. The ride uses a blend of massive physical sets, projection screens and 4D effects that create a fast, chaotic and super energetic journey through Gusteau's famous kitchen. And because the ride is trackless, the vehicles move in a really unpredictable way, spinning, sliding, as Disney call it, scurrying, and in some scenes even splitting off and rejoining the other groups later. It makes every transition feel smooth and natural, like the vehicle is alive. Each room is basically its own mini set piece. There's a pantry filled with gigantic fruits and vegetables towering over you, the hectic kitchen where chefs are rushing around unaware you're underfoot, and the dining room where fully sized guests eat as you dart between their tables, and the scale of everything is exaggerated in the best possible way. The soundtrack is also fantastic. It pulls heavily from the original film's score, and the music swells and dips perfectly with the action. It's fun, it's chaotic in the best way, and it nails the imaginative Pixar feel. That's why Ratatouille The Adventure comfortably sits in my number 4 spot. At number 3 is Monsters Unchained: The Frankenstein Experiment, one of the headliner dark rides at Epic Universe. This attraction takes Universal's classic monsters and puts them in a fast-moving, story-driven experience that makes physical sets, animatronics and high-tech motion. The queue leads you through Frankenstein Manor, where you learn that Victoria Frankenstein is trying to take control of the world's most powerful monsters, including Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and including Frankenstein. Naturally, things go wrong and you end up caught in the middle of a full-blown monster breakout. The ride uses a robotic arm, similar to that of Forbidden Journey, that lifts, tilts and moves you through detailed scenes while you encounter Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy, the Creature from the Black Lagoon and other iconic monsters in quick succession. The effects, lighting and animatronics make each room feel intense and alive. What makes this ride stand out is how smoothly it blends motion and real environment. It's fast, it's dark, and it has a strong narrative that never slows down. It's easily one of the most ambitious monster attractions Universal and any other park has ever built, and that's why it ranks so highly on my list at the number 3 spot. And at number 2 is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, located at Hollywood Studios in Florida. One of Disney's most charming and modern creative dark rides to date. What makes this attraction stand out is how perfectly it captures the look and feel of a newer Mickey Mouse cartoon. Bright, silly, energetic and full of personality. The ride starts with a fun pre-show where Goofy accidentally transports you into the cartoon world. Once you board the train, the cars break apart and the ride becomes trackless, which lets the vehicles move freely and react to scenes around them. Each room has its own little story: a sunny countryside, a wild tornado, a busy city, a dancing carnival, and even an underwater sequence. The visuals constantly change, and the ride uses a mix of projections, physical sets, and clever lighting to make every transition feel smooth and surprising. What makes Runaway Railway special is the pacing. It's non-stop movement, something always happens, but never feels too intense for younger riders. The humour is classic Disney, and the whole experience feels like you're jumping from one cartoon gag to the next cartoon gag. The finale brings together everything back as the cars reconnect and Goofy somehow manages to get you safely back. It's simple, fun and incredibly re-rideable. The combination of technology, colourful scenes and pure Disney charm easily earns it here at the number 2 spot. And finally, at number 1, we have Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, a ride that isn't just an attraction, but a full-on multi-part experience. This is Disney at its biggest, most ambitious and immersive self. From the moment you enter the Resistance base, the story starts right away. You're treated like a new recruit being prepared for a mission, and the pacing is perfect. You move from one area to the next area without feeling like you're waiting around. Each space builds anticipation for what's to come. The first big moment is the transport sequence. You board a shuttle, the doors close, and suddenly you're launched into the middle of a space battle. But the real jaw-dropping moment is what happens after, when those doors open and you step onto a massive First Order hangar. The reveal is one of the most impressive things Disney has ever built. The scale, the lighting, and the rows of stormtroopers make it feel like you've walked straight into a movie set. It sets the tone for the rest of the ride and the rest of the experience. It's huge, cinematic, and surprisingly believable. The actual ride portion begins when you're loaded into a trackless vehicle for your escape mission. The movement is smooth and fast, taking you through different areas of the Star Destroyer. You pass through towering AT-AT walkers, dodge blasters from stormtroopers, and experience some clever practical effects that make every bit of action feel real without becoming overwhelming. The ride keeps a good rhythm, with the big action moments followed by quieter, more suspenseful sections. There's also a drop at one point, but it's quick and well integrated into the story. Everything builds towards your final escape pod sequence, which brings you to the whole mission and a thrilling finish. What makes Rise of the Resistance stand out is how many layers it has. It's not just one scene or one ride system. It's a full adventure in multiple phases that flows together naturally. It's immersive without needing to be overly intense, and it delivers spectacle without losing any storytelling. The combination of scale, technology and cinematic presentation is why Rise of the Resistance takes the top spot and is the most complete and impressive dark ride experience ever created. And that wraps up my top 10 dark rides. From peaceful submarine adventures to full-on galaxy-spanning missions, these rides just show how immersive and creative dark rides can be. I'd love to hear your own rankings and which ride you think would make your top 10, or what is your personal number 1. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one and I'd love to see what everyone picks. If you enjoyed this countdown, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on future theme park videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.